So 6.2. Next section, 6.2. We have 3 sections tonight. So now what we're doing is now we're factoring 3 terms, trinomials. This chapter 6 is all a quick review of factoring. How do you factor when there's 3 terms? Do you remember this a little bit? So, you know what would be best, actually? Hold on. Let me just remind you. What if you had x plus 4 times x plus 5? Do you remember how to multiply that out? Remember? Can you FOIL that real quick? Remember, you know what I mean? First to both, second to both. Remember FOIL? First outer, inner, last. However you want to do that. Maybe I'll do it with you. You remember what I'm talking about? Let's multiply. Right now I'm multiplying. So if you take this x and you go to both, remember the first one goes to both. So what's x times x? X squared, because the invisible 1 powers add, right? And x times 5 is 5x. Now he's done. He's done. He's distributed to both. You take turns distributing, right? The x distributes to both. He's done. And now the 4 is going to distribute to both. 4x and 4 times 5, 20. So that's the whole thing. Now we can actually combine like terms, though, in the middle. Do you remember some of that? These 2 in the middle are like terms. So they'll make 9x. Why don't I make that 9x squared there? Why is it just 9x, not 9x squared? Because I'm adding terms, not multiplying. Do you remember that difference? When you multiply, if it was 5x times 4x, if they were multiplied, that's when powers add. But if you just add them, you just add the numbers in the front. You don't mess with powers. Remember that like terms kind of stuff? So anyway, my point in all that is we just FOILed this out, and it became that. They call it FOIL, first, outer, inner, last. You could, if you like that, great. I just think first to both, second to both. Whatever works for you. There's the answer. Now, what they're going to ask me to do in this section is they're going to ask me to do it backwards. In other words, they're going to start with this, and they want me to work back to that. Because that's what factoring is reverse multiplying. Which seems bizarre, but there is a good reason. We'll see real life reasons next time. So how would you start with this, and after it was multiplied, and go backwards to what it was before it was multiplied? How do you do that? How would you look at x squared, 9x, and 20, and realize it was x plus 4, x plus 5, if you hadn't just done it? Remember? Yeah.
Did you find a number that will multiply and then add?
Yeah. What 2 numbers multiply to be 20? Now, there's a lot of numbers multiply to be 20. 2 and 10, 1 and 20, 5 and 4. A lot of numbers multiply to be 20. But not only multiply to be 20, how do they make the 9? They add to be 9, and that's only 5 and 4. The other ones don't add to be 9. That's how you know it's 4 and 5, 5 and 4, whatever order you want. Yeah, they have to multiply to be the back number. They add to be the number. Why? Well, because that's exactly what we did. We just did it. How did we get the 20? We multiplied 4 and 5. How did we get the 9? We added, didn't we? That's just what you do when you FOIL or double distribute, is you add for the middle and multiply for the back. So if you're trying to do it backwards, which is what this whole section is about, you should ask yourself what multiplies to be 20 adds to be 9. Some people do it with the diamond method. Have you seen that before? Maybe you don't recognize by the name. They'll put the 20 up there and the 9 down there. Or is it the other way? I forget which way they do it. Anyway, and you're saying what multiplies. I'm not really into any particular way. Multiply, you just say what 2 numbers multiply to be 20, add to be 9, 5 and 4, and that's your answers. So that's what we're going to do. So let's go to it. Let's try that on this one. X squared plus 12x plus 27. So I'll make the diamond. I'll put the 27 here. We're saying what numbers multiply to be 27, add to be 12. So my answer is going to be, 2 parentheses, x is in the front. It's always like that. 2 parentheses, bless you. X is in the front. Now I'm just looking for these numbers that go in the back that would multiply to be 27 and add to be 12. What times what? So you can use calculator for all this stuff? 9 and 3, huh? Yeah. And 3 and 9, 9 and 3, the order doesn't matter at all. Yeah, 3 and 9, both positive. Either order, doesn't matter. Multiply to be 27, add to be 12. That's it. If you FOILed that out, it would go back to this. Good? Remember that a little bit? Okay, so here we go, number 2. X squared minus 14x plus 4. Do the same thing, do the diamond. Remember, they need to multiply to be the back number, add to be the middle number, so you write the positive 49, they need to multiply. Multiply to be positive 49. And they got to add to be minus 14. So use your calculator if you need to. All right, what two numbers multiply to be plus 49 and add to be negative 14? Yeah, negative 7 twice, huh? Because two negatives multiply to be positive. Remember how two negatives multiply to be positive, but they add to be a bigger negative? It's negative 7, yeah. So our answer then is x minus 7, x minus 7. It's always two parentheses x. Since that's the same exact thing twice, there's a shortcut way to write that, huh? Yeah, you just put a 2 power on it. That means two of them.
Is that like how math is going to have?
Yeah, I think they might take it either way. I'm not sure. On the exam, it'll for sure be that way. It'll be multiple choice. You want to grab that one. So whenever you have the same thing twice, identical twins, you just write it as squared. Like that. All right. How you doing? You still hanging in there? Am I starting to do the Charlie Brown teacher voice for you? Got maybe 25 minutes. Right, x squared plus 16, plus 6x minus 16. Try that one. Find the two numbers. Multiply to be the back number, add to be the middle. So use your calculator. You got to think about the pluses and minuses. So what multiplies to be 16? 4 times 4, 2 times 8, right? And 1 times 16, that's probably not it. So, and then how, you know, like if I do 4 and 4, it's not going to work, is it? If I do 4 and 4, there's really no way to get 6 from 4 and 4, huh? So it's not 4 and 4. 2 and 8. How can you get positive 6 from 2 and 8? Now, let me give you a rule that's always the case. Whatever sign you have down here, the bigger one always takes that sign. For sure. That's 100%. The bigger one always. So whatever sign you have down here, the bigger one gets that sign. So plus 8 minus 2, yeah, that makes plus 6, and it multiplies to be negative 16. So there it is. So the sign on the bottom always is taken by the bigger one. They might both have that sign, but it's for sure the case that the bigger one will. There we go. Either order, you can swap. The order doesn't matter. The signs in the front are all that matters. So I'll say or. It's totally okay if you put the x plus 8 in the front and the x minus 2 at the back. Doesn't matter at all. Math Excel knows it. It'll take it either way, or my math lab. And multiple choice tests, grab either one. They're the same. The order doesn't matter, but the signs in front do. Notice the negative has to be on the 2, wherever he is. And the plus has to be on the 8, wherever he is. That good? All right. Okay, x squared plus 10x, y plus 24y squared. Let me just tell you the pattern. That is my job. X, you probably already know it. X squared on the left, there's going to be x's in the left of each parenthesis. Y squared on the right, there's going to be y's in the right. Now just do the numbers. Does that make sense on the letter pattern? X squared on the left is going to be x's in the left of each parenthesis. Y squared on the right is going to be y's in the right of each parenthesis. Now just do the numbers like usual. So we're looking for, they want to multiply to be 24, add to be 10. So multiply to be 24, add to be 10. So what times what multiplies to be 24, adds to be 10? 4 and 6, everything's positive here, huh? So plus 4y, plus 6y. You can put the 6 first and the 4, it doesn't matter. Good? It's easier than the last section, probably, huh? I think so. So I want to get to the next one's a little hard. So 13 plus 14m plus m squared. So I would just reorder right away. Reorder. You want to have the m squared in the front. You want to go from highest power to lowest. You don't have to, but it probably make it easier for you. So just reorder it from highest power to lowest if they give it to you all mixed up, and then you get it from there. And it's the diamond and the same thing. So you want to multiply to be 13, add to be, what two numbers multiply to be 13 and yet add to be 14? 1 and 13, huh? Multiply to be 13, add to be 14, don't they? So that's it. M's in the front, 1 and 13. Either order, you put 13 first, then the 1. Doesn't matter. Good? On that, questions? Okay. 3x to the 4th plus 15x cubed plus 12x squared. Yeah. Now this one, why this one's different, why I want to do this one with you, is you have to first do what we learned in the last section. Take out what's in common with the one big parenthesis, then do the new stuff with the two parentheses. I mean, so that's always what you should look for first. So first, right over here. First, do the GCF with the one big parenthesis. In other words, what's in common. So you always want to be in that habit. So look at those three. What goes into all three of those? What do all three have in common? 3. Yeah, the 3 goes into those numbers. And what power of x am I going to take out? X squared, too, huh? Yeah. So take out 3x squared and do one big parenthesis, and then on the next step, you'll do the 2. Am I making sense? So do the one big parenthesis, find out what goes in here, like we did in the last section, whatever works, right? In other words, ask yourself, 3x squared times what? And 3x squared times what? And 3x squared times what? We'll go back to this, this, and this. And then go on and do the diamond and finish it up from there. So 3x squared times what? X squared plus 5x plus 4. Everybody good to there so far? Right, so that's right, because the powers will add, and the invisible 1 power and the 2 will make 3, and then 3 times 4 is 12. So that's the one big parenthesis step when you have something in common. Now, just leave that 3x squared in the front. Not going to do anything more with that. It'll be there as part of the answer, though. And then finish up this other part. Break it into the 2. Why? Because they multiply to be 4, add to be 5. So what two numbers multiply to be 4, add to be 5? Yeah, it's going to be 1 and 4. 1 times 4 is 4, and they add to be 5. So 1 and 4. X plus 1, x plus 4. Done. That whole thing is the answer. Kind of getting scribbly there. That whole thing is our answer. So see how we put the two sections together there? We took out what's in common first, That's one big parenthesis, and then we did the two parentheses from there. The diamond. Now, how do you know when you're supposed to do that? You're supposed to always look for it. Let me show you. If you look back, do you see how we didn't have anything here in common? They didn't all have an M, did they? In this last problem, they didn't all have an M. There was no number. So there was nothing in common. So you only do that when they have something in common. Okay, so try number 10 there. And what's the first thing you want to ask yourself on a factoring problem? Is there something they all have in common? Is there a number or letter that they all have in common? If there is, you've got to do the one big parenthesis step before you do anything else. So first, take out what they all have in common. They all have a 3. So put 3 on the outside, one big parenthesis, and then on the next line, that 3 will still be out front, and you go to the two parentheses with that. Take you out of 3. Oh, wait a minute, no, they have 6. Not 3. Okay, yeah. Let me show you how I would have realized that. Let me show you what's right. If you just took out a 3, you're going to be wrong. Let me show you how you would know. Whoops, this would be what, 4? And this would be 30. What about that should alert me to the fact that I did not take out everything they have in common? They still have a 2, don't they? See, 2, 4, and 30. What goes in all those? 2. There's more commonness. So that means I didn't get all the common. Put that 2 on the 3. What's 2 times 3? 6. I should have taken out 6. That's how you'll see it. Then you go back and change it to 6 and redo it. Everybody see that? So that's why I did that mistake on purpose, just to teach that. I'm just so tricky. All right. Yeah. So that's how you're going to recognize that. You see that again? 2, 4. When you take out all the commonness, there shouldn't be anything left in common. Or you didn't really take out all the commonness, right? They still have 2. So take out a 2. 2 times 3 is 6. So that means redo it, erase it all, say no way, and take out a 6, and then it'll be right. But then you still have to go on to the two parentheses step also. So take out a 6. I just realized we're going to miss, it's football season, huh? This is Monday night. I don't know if you're football fans. I really don't care a lot. I never really, I kind of watch when the playoffs come around. It's kind of what I do. But I don't know if any of you are diehard football fans, but you're going to miss all the Monday night. So this is x squared plus 2x. Was that 15? Divide in your calculator? Yeah. So that's the first step, and then now you do the two parenthesis step. 6 is in front, 2 parentheses. So what multiplies to be 15 adds to be 2? So you can do negative 15. What multiplies to be negative 15? Do the diamond thing. Adds to be plus 2. What times what? 5 and 3 makes 15.
Negative 3.
Yeah, remember, whatever sign is down here always goes on which one?
Oh, the bigger number.
The bigger. Has to. Always. The sign on the bottom always goes on the bigger. Plus 5 minus 3, that adds to be plus 2, multiplies to be negative 15, huh? Doesn't matter what order. You could put the plus 5 first or second. All that matters is the signs. The order doesn't matter. There we go. Is that good? Everybody see that? Putting both things together? Questions on that? Yeah, so 5 and y, huh? So take out a 5y. They all have 5. They all have y. One big parenthesis, then go on and do the 2 with the diamond. And that 5y stays in the front all the way to the end. right. We good. So take out a 5 and a y, one big parenthesis, that leaves what? X squared plus, use your calculator, what's that? 14x and minus 13, I think. Good to there? So that's the one parenthesis step. Now do the two. So do the diamond thing. What multiplies to be minus 13? What adds to be plus 14? So what two numbers do that? What two numbers multiply to be 13 and add to be 14?
1 and 13.
1 and 13. What signs do they need? Sign down here always goes on the bigger one. Not left or right, but bigger one. Plus 13. Wait, that's not going to work, is it? Am I doing something wrong? It doesn't work, huh? Plus 13 times minus 1 would multiply to be minus 13, but that wouldn't add to be 14. You got to have both plus to make 14, but then that won't be minus. You got to have minus plus to make that, but that won't make this. So what does that mean? That means we stop right here. It doesn't do the second part. The second part doesn't work. You just do the first part and stop. It's okay. All the horses are contained, right? So you can stop there. So that's what that means. Does that make sense? The second part doesn't quite work. We can't get the signs to do the right thing. You can either make the minus 13 or you can make the plus 14, but you can't make them both. So it doesn't quite work. Did everybody see that? So we just leave it like this. Let's make